Hi there, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Back in the day, not like now, a broken down old fart. Oops. Sorry about that. When I was just beginning to earn a living, I was a big Picasso, Rubens, Michelangelo fan, and wanted to become as great as they were, but it didn't happen. Guess not, here I am. As I look back, way back, I don't think I was wrong in my decision of becoming an artist, because I not only made a lucrative living, it was a lot of fun. Meant I never had to give up my crayons. Kept the child within me alive. I was at a point in my life when I was going to remain a racetracker, perhaps train racehorses as a career. As much as I love horses, I'm glad that I enrolled in the Vancouver School of Art, now called Emily Carr. Although becoming a fine artist at the time, high on my list, I instead opted to become a commercial artist, or a graphic designer, as it's called now. My first job was as an animator, and a background artist for a cartoon series that I have long forgotten. I never really considered becoming a cartoonist, even though I drew many of them, which paid me good money. I think for me, I never really wanted to be categorized in any way. I wanted to be a diversified artist, tackle anything artistic. While working as an animator, I worked with Lou Saw, about 20 years older than I was at the time. He was also a cartoonist for the Vancouver Province newspaper. One would expect a cartoonist to be a funny man, but I found him very serious and somewhat delusioned, perhaps even depressed. However, not to be put off, now in my much later years, I created Giggles. Giggles has almost 2,000 fans, and I thought you might like to see how she becomes a reality from my somewhat bent imagination. I don't recommend how I began drawing Giggles, because being half soused in the morning isn't for everyone. I start my day like many people do, with a large mug of coffee. However, instead of black coffee to wake me up, mine is creamy and somewhat sweet. I call it Elephant Balls. Kept the name after a friend of mine introduced it to me. He came up with the name because there is a photo of an elephant on the label, which is made in Africa. Incidentally, did you know that each elephant testicle weighs about 9 pounds? Wow. Luckily, they are located internally. Otherwise, can you imagine those two monsters swinging together? Poor bloody elephant would be in so much pain. Oops, kind of got sidetracked there. Back to Giggles. Time to show you how I create her, and I deliberately stay away from depicting her as having any political or religious affiliations. She is mostly about putting a smile on someone's face, or making them laugh out loud even. Who would have thought she would offend some people? Oh well, you can't please everyone. First I come up with an idea and a caption for Giggles before I start drawing her. Secondly, I sketch her out on a piece of paper. And thirdly, when that is complete, I scan her into my computer. From there, I turn the drawing into a vector image and then begin filling in all the colors using CorelDRAW, which makes her look like the Giggles that many people have come to love. Since I created the Giggles logo, I simply pop it into a large, colorful rectangle. I try to keep the cartoon as colorful as I can, because back then, in the hippie era, things were very bright, wild, and imaginative. Day-glow phosphorus images displayed everywhere. I like to think that she is about love, peace, and freedom, like those days of yore, and even now, when everything is being put to the test. I'm not sure if she's an alter ego of me dressed in bell-bottom pants like I used to be, but wouldn't be the least surprised if she is. I've given her a somewhat large belly and overabundantly breasts, which some women get as they get older. They say menopause can do that. Saying that, I've spared her a wrinkly face. And often she doesn't have a nose either, unless I draw a profile of her head. However, she still retains her long hair, which used to be blonde, but now is gray. I don't think there's anything wrong with her image, since I too have a pot gut, not from drinking elephant balls though, it's from the cancer treatments. If you have enjoyed this post about Giggles, please check out the other ones I created about her. Oh, and don't forget to give her a like, drop a comment, or share her. Even subscribe. Otherwise, how will Giggles ever be famous? And she wants to be famous. Cheers, eh?